When people are jealous and or envious of your life, they count your money like a bank teller. They're always trying to figure out how the math is mathing in your life. When a person is jealous and envious of your lifestyle or they can't figure out your lifestyle, they are in your pocket constantly. They're in your wallet constantly. They're trying to figure out how you have what you have and how you do what you do. Now, make no mistake about it. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant that you're doing. You could be living a very low-key life with as less stress as possible and not really so busy. You know, people used to say back in the day, you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off. You might not be that kind of person. You might be the kind of person that do what you do and you have a relatively comfortable lifestyle. And when somebody is jealous and envious, they don't understand that. And they're always trying to figure it out. They're always in your wallet. You see this with family in general, especially when you have those nosy family members who are trying to come around and see what you have and how you have what you have. You could be a woman who just bought a brand new house. You could have bought a 3-bedroom house and nobody knows what you do for a living. And that's where the assumptions and the speculation and the curiosity comes in from the nosy family members. That's where the rumors come in, where, oh, she must have did something illegal. She must be doing this. They must be doing that. When people can't figure out your lifestyle or figure out you, they make assumptions. And you have to get accustomed to that as a more low-key, leveled up kind of woman. If you are living a more quiet, simple life and you are being blessed quietly and you don't feel the need to flex on people what you do, get used to people assuming things about you. And normally they assume the worst. When a person is doing better financially, people who don't have it have to find some reason that you have what you have, some immoral, illegal reason you have what you have in order to make themselves feel better about their life. When a woman is jealous of another woman's life, she will always automatically assume that a man is the reason for her success. While I am not opposed to a woman have a financial come up because she got married to a wealthy man or she has a man that has money, it's not always that. And people who are jealous of your lifestyle, they will always assume, especially if you're a woman and suddenly you're doing a lot better financially, they will always assume that without a man, you wouldn't have this. And what's crazy about women who find themselves jealous of women who have men with money, that's not anything to be ashamed of. A man is supposed to be a provider. So if a woman marries a man who has money, you shouldn't feel ashamed of that. No matter how much your family members try to make you feel like, oh, you need to be out here working. Why are you dependent on that man for money? If that's your husband, that's what he's there for. Now, as a woman, if you are a woman of industry, if you have your own business, if you are, creating things and doing different things like that, a lot of times your family members, if they don't see you out the house from sun up to sundown, they won't understand how you have what you have. And it's never your responsibility to explain your lifestyle to another person. And then let's talk about children. If you have children and a husband and you have different things for your children, you have them in activities, you might have a 529 plan for them. A 529 plan is a college fund, or you can use that money at the end of the day. I believe when they're 18, you can cash that out and use it for whatever that you want to use it for the child. When you talk about those kind of things to family members who are in the struggle and don't understand or have financial literacy, they will look at you as if, oh, you think you're suddenly this. Oh, why are you worrying about things like that? And don't talk about life insurance, because a lot of families, unfortunately, they are the fish fry capital of the world. Meaning if something goes down, something happens to a family member, everybody got to get in the kitchen and start cooking. But if you are a woman who understands life insurance and you have a life insurance policy for yourself, your children, your husband, you have all of that in place. If you have a 529 plan, if you have savings, if you are more financially, aware, People will be jealous of that. And the things that I just mentioned, that's not anything really to be jealous of. That's something that everybody should have in place. Money is important. But people who are jealous and envious and glamorize struggle, because you see this with a lot of people who have that hood mentality, people who have that street mentality, and all they know is the street culture. When you are a person who understands having the things like life insurance, college savings plans, or what have you, investments, they will not understand that you're not being bougie. You are being prepared as you're supposed to be as a woman. And that's where knowing who to confide in your family and knowing who not to confide in is very important. And then let's say you're a person or you are the recipient of a parent who looked out for you. They gave you a head up in life. They gave you a kickstart in life. Maybe they gave you a car. They gave you a house. Get accustomed to your family members saying things like, oh, if it wasn't for your mama, you wouldn't have that car. If it wasn't for your daddy, you wouldn't have that house. So what? I have heard these things in families, in my own family. I've heard these things, and they use that as if you're supposed to be ashamed of getting a kickstart in life because you had parents that cared about you enough to give you a little bit of leeway. That's nothing to be ashamed of. And if you are the type of woman that is not yet in that position where you can give your kids a kickstart, but you want to, do that. Do the best that you can to make sure that your children might not have to struggle the way you had to. But see, people who have that jealous, envious struggle mindset, they feel like if you don't struggle for everything that you have, it doesn't count. Your life doesn't count, because in order for your life to count, you would have had to go through major hardship, major struggle, almost land on the ground, land on the pavement in order for your life to count or mean something. I don't like people like that. I don't like dealing with people who glamorize struggle. Now, if you've been in struggles, as most of us have, there's nothing wrong with that. But the goal is not to stay in struggle. And people get jealous and envious of you when you overcome the struggle life. When they see that you are now, more aware of money. And I don't understand, for a lot of people who are jealous and glamorize struggle and street mentality, they don't like talking about money. They get very uncomfortable when you bring up the idea of making more money, creating a business. People who have that low level kind of thinking, they think any mention of money is some way prideful, it's some way arrogant, it's some way cocky, it's you acting like you're better than somebody. But if money was not important, I don't believe God wouldn't have given it to us as our form of currency. But when a person is accustomed to struggle and you talk optimism and you talk about having a better life financially, they're going to look at you like you're doing too much. And that's where your circle of influence comes in, even in spiritual realms, because I am a follower of Jesus, as I have said in many videos. And even in that circle, sometimes you have people who take out of context what it means to make money the root of all evil, or money is the root of all evil. When you worship money, that is an issue. But having money and using the gifts and skills and talents that God gave you to get money, that is not a sin. People act like being broke is some passage or some kind of virtue. Being broke is a choice. And I don't think that God is honored and pleased if you decide to stay broke because you are too lazy to do what other people are doing, or to obtain or think about, even formulate a plan. See, people who are jealous and have that low level thinking, they don't even plan for the future. They just kind of let things happen. And if all else fails, I can just run to the government. And I'm talking specifically here to our families, Black families. A lot of times we do not set our children up. We don't set ourselves up for financial success because we're always just thinking about, well, I'm just trying to get by. I don't like that kind of talk. And if you're around people who have that just trying to get by mentality, and you are more of a woman that, wants to be okay financially, expect them to have jealousy and envy towards you. And when you do level up financially, don't tell them what you're doing. Don't tell them what you're buying. And It's always been my goal to live a low-key life. I don't care how financially successful we are. I don't need people hating on me. I don't need that negative attention. And you have to be mindful not to invite that spirit of jealousy too by having mouth diarrhea and telling everybody about yourself, especially those people that you know can't receive it. So when it comes to your money, people will be jealous, especially if it's family that if in the struggle and they've seen you in the struggle and you overcome that, they will always be counting your money. They will be trying to figure out how you work there, but you have a house like that. How does he work here, but you have a car like that? Why does it matter? If people paid more attention to their own lives opposed to counting the coin, counting the money of other people's lives, they would be better off. And that's why I saw a TikTok video of a guy who said, I forget what kind of car he had, but it was one of these luxury brand cars like 2025, 2026. And he left that home and he drove his utility truck to his family's house because he knew if he drove that car, they were going to be questioning his lifestyle, asking him all these different things. And people who have financial success, they really don't want all of that attention. There's no such thing as like flexing on people. But the sad thing about jealous people, you don't even have to have luxury items. You could just have a relatively comfortable life. You can afford to do everything you need to do and some of what you want to do. And if somebody has a jealous, envious spirit, they will envy that. So it's not so much a matter of you being rich or having such top tier items. People who have a root of jealousy and envy on the inside of that, they will always be trying to figure out how you have what you have. Your money will be a topic of conversation. Either they're going to be curious as into thinking you did something illegal or immoral. They won't understand that some people actually plan financially and some people have financial goals. That's another thing. When people are envious and jealous and they have that struggle mindset, they do not believe in planning financially for the future. And a lot of times, and I chalk this up to a lot of it being our educational system, we're not really taught how to plan financially for the future. We're taught things that we'll never use again. And I think because we don't take the initiative sometimes to learn about financial literacy, learn about having a bank account, learn about setting up credit, even though I don't think you should depend on credit, that's where that like nonchalant attitude about, well, whatever, it's going to be what it's going to be. I'm in debt, but I'm at Starbucks. I'm in debt, but I'm at Dunkin' Donuts. People have that just lackluster mindset about money. And when they do, and you're not like that, they will be jealous. They will be envious, and they will think that you think you're somebody. And you just have to get used to that. Don't lower your level of success or your focus in order to make other people feel comfortable. Don't stop talking about ways you can make money all because other people are uncomfortable with it. Don't talk to those people. Talk to people who are on the same page as you. People who understand that being broke is not some kind of virtue. That people who understand that, just living moment to moment, trying to figure things out, that's not a flex. Struggle is not a flex for anybody, man or woman. And if you are a mother, even if you're married to a millionaire, money should be a topic of interest for you. Being broke is not hot. It doesn't have to be. Being broke is a choice. And there's so many things that women can be doing. I don't understand why a woman would be jealous of anybody when there is so much opportunity available. But that's for another video. So get used to jealous people counting your money. They will come up with every way except for the right way of why you have what you have. And as that old saying goes, I think it was in a poem or a story, said curiosity killed the cat. Many people allowed their curiosity about somebody else's life to destroy the relationship. So beware of the people you are telling your business to. And when it comes to money and finances, don't talk to people who you know are haters, who you know are jealous, who you know don't understand money and don't understand the importance of it. If they have that kind of mindset that talking about money makes you arrogant and cocky, don't talk to them about it. Continue to live your low-key, fabulous life. All right? Like and subscribe to the channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. Feminine women should have money, and we should not be struggling for anything. You have to tap into that that creative side of yourself so that you're not worried about money. And don't let anybody get you to dumb yourself down and make you feel like you're just doing too much, all because you focus on making money for yourself. Okay? Like and subscribe to the channel. Take care.